Pramana, the experience of the millions of disciple devotees followers initiated by Bhagavan into the science of power manifestation. Pratyaksha Pramana, the scientific study measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. Bhagavan Paramashiva has beautifully given us the greater science and all the scientific research in Avatar Shastra to make us understand the higher reality. We are Paramashiva. Paramashiva is real. And each one of us can experience the Paramashiva space as our reality. The Shastra Pramana is from the Shiva Sutra, Sutra 1.1.
Bhagavan tells about different level of mind conditioning. Let's go to the Shastra.
The Shastra Pramana for the power of mind reading is taken from the Shiva Sutra, Sutra 1.15. Hridaye chitta samghatad drishyaswapadarsanam. Hridaye chitta samghatad drishyaswapadarsanam.
Bhagavan Paramashiva says, when the individual mind is united to the core consciousness, every observable or objective phenomenon, and even the absence of the every objective phenomenon is directly experienced as a form of consciousness and appears its existential reality as it is. Bhagavan Paramashiva clearly says how the individual mind is united into the core of consciousness. As long as we are in the materialistic world, we are engaged with the outer world reality as our identity. When we lose something or lose somebody, we create a huge gap, huge space. That is exactly how the original space, who we are, when we are in the deep sleep, is the eternal, where the space is what we are. We are looking for the 70 years of a life that Bhagavan is saying again and again, which is a delusion which will just disappear in no time. And simply we are again in the birth and death cycle. Out of the 84 million species and 8 billion people, we have been the chosen one to be here to listen even to the greatest science. We have attracted to the greatest science, now coming here to the greatest possibility. If we do not take the higher steps of integrity with the Paramashiva space, we are going to lose out again and be into the birth and death cycle. The mind is having the birth and death cycle. And again, when the mind assumes itself, again and again, it is going to cause us into the delusion and we get into the suffering and pain and all the miseries. Again and again, living that nothing is happening in this world which is suffering, or it is not a big deal, all this suffering is for everybody. That is not true. The reason why we are here is to experience the eternal bliss. Everything that we need to experience, that we are a conscious being, we are Paramashiva. Paramashiva is real, and that is how we are experiencing ourselves. Including the plants and animals, all of them go to the deep sleep every single day without boredom or tiredness. If you are having so much fun and everything is fine, then why do we sleep? Because we want to get rid of that fine space, but be in the Brahman, the Paramashiva space, at least few hours. We ourselves contradict ourselves if we say Paramashiva is not real, because who we are, the very existence that we are, is Paramashiva. And that is what we experience in the deep sleep. If we can experience that in the awakening state, the waking state, we become the awakened state. We become the consciousness. It's a science and it is still happening in us. It is not something as we have to experience. It is something we have to recognize ourselves in such a way that we understand the higher reality, who we are. Again and again, Bhagavan gives us the higher definition for us to understand and start living that cognition. Once we start living, we recognize more of it. Even in outer world, if you want to go into the moon, you get prepared for at least 20-30 years to experience the higher science and go into the moon, the gravitational force and all the force, that you do the whole experience living in the NASA and literally experiencing the higher reality. Same way Bhagavan says, once you are in the space of oneness with Paramashiva, continuously holding that you are consciousness, you are the spirit, you are the higher frequency, you're not just the matter, materialistic world. If you can understand that you are not just the matter, you will be experiencing the higher reality. We are much more subtle and subtler, and what we can experience is higher consciousness. That is what Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and Vivekananda, all of them experience. Vivekananda first did not agree with Ramakrishna Paramahamsa that we are God. When he asked everybody, where is God? Show me God. We are the space. It is not somewhere else that we have to find. We are that. And we have to create a space for us, the weak nuclear force, for us to get the initiation of the strong nuclear force. If our nervous system or the mind is not capable to understand this reality, even Paramashiva comes, we'll be asking for gold, not for Paramashiva, because we are in the materialistic world. And simply we understand and unclutch. The unclutched space is nothing but how you go into the deep sleep where nothing, no seer, no seen, nothing exists other than you. That I will simply merge into the Paramashiva space and you can experience the oneness. Bhagavan beautifully says, when somebody asks Bhagavan, what is that you experience or your identity is, he says very clearly, other than Arunagiri Yogeshwara, I don't know who I am. I have no identity of that. When Ramana Maharshi was asked the same question, he showed a barrel and said, that must be Ramana. And who he is Arunachala, he says. All of the great Mahatmas, saints, Paramamsas, again and again refer that Paramashiva is real. When you become empty, simply they can flow in you and you become free will. Whatever you want gets manifested as reality. And much more happens as your reality. When we are caught with the fear and greed and continuously fighting with the delusion in Maya matrix, either accepting or rejecting, we are getting clutched the whole thing. When we unclutch and create a space where there is nothing other than I exist, the Paramashiva space exists, you can experience the higher reality as consciousness. Bhagavan beautifully gives the Apta Pramana for us to understand how Raghavendra lived. Raghavendra's mutt, still in Vrindavan, you can go and hear the sound of his japas that is happening inside the Raghavendra mutt, where the Jiva Samadhi is, and still you can hear the chanting that he is doing. All these great Mahatma, Tyagaraja, every single day he was chanting the Ramanama 1 crore time, and all the time he spent was in chanting continuously. Ram Surat Kumar continuously chanting, Sharada Devi continuously chanting. These Ajapa Japa raises our frequency again and again, holding us into the higher cognition. Paramashiva is real. More and more, when we align to the higher science, we experience the greater reality. When his guru, Sudindra, Tirtha, he goes and asks the deity, Vishnu deity, Krishna deity, who would be his next successor. And simply Venkatanada, which is Raghavendra's previous name, had come in the card that he placed in front of the deity. So he calls Venkatanada, who was married, to leave everything and to take sannyas. And when he took sannyas, simply he became the Raghavendra, the ultimate mission, what he came down for, manifesting as higher science. All these greater saints and rishis and munis come down as avatars to showcase what our possibility is and how we can be led into the superconscious space. And millions of them they liberate. If we align to that beautiful space, we are liberated from this birth and death and go beyond all this, taking sannyas or living as grahastha, committed to what Paramashiva says in simple integrity and simple obedience. As whatever Guru says, the Guru first tells him to get married and he gets married, and the Guru tells him to leave his child and his wife when they were completely in poverty and come and take sannyas. All this, whatever we have seen in many of the cases, is only the Guru knows when we are ready and when we are ripe for us to experience the fourth force into the consciousness as superconscious space as ultimate reality. Just surrendering to Guru, taking Guru Vak as your life, living as only Guru as your first priority and the only priority in your life makes you experience the higher reality, why you came to planet Earth and why you're living the eternal life. You're going to be here eternal, and preparing for that is the oneness space. How in the outer world you need the currency, here in the eternal space, preparing yourself for the oneness space again and again to experience, to understand, to cognize the higher reality is the only purpose for us. Here, Bhagavan himself explains how each one in a village were able to manifest huge powers, just a simple integrity, and how we can experience the higher signs, even one dimension of us. If we experience, we'll understand Paramashiva is real, and Paramashiva is reflecting in my brain as my consciousness as a reality.
Do not think he is a fake the moment you see him. Don't judge. He may be having one altered state of consciousness. There are millions, especially in Indian villages, who have one state of altered consciousness. Means they will be able to handle one extraordinary power. In Karnataka, there was an elderly man, his name was Kasagowda, means Money Gowda, literally if you translate. His speciality was anybody having any fracture, pain, anything, he will just keep a 25 paise coin. India's 25 paise coin, which is like a less than 1 cent. Indian rupee itself now less than 1 cent, that is different. Okay. Less than 1 cent. There is a penny. He used to keep the penny and put a band-aid, it will become all right. And the funny thing is, when he will ask us only to bring the penny. Our own penny when we give, when he keeps on our skin, it will stick to the skin. If you keep, it won't stick. So I heard about him. And I had a devotee from Salem suffering with a hand pain for quite a number of years. I tried my best to heal him, maybe more than a month. Every day I'll heal him. I could not do. I could not heal. Then I thought it's something to do with bone fracture. I'm not able to do anything. Maybe I'll have to take him I'll have to tell him to go for allopathy. Just 2 days before I heard about this Kasagowda, I took him. He was living in just half an hour drive from our Bidhi ashram in a remote village. Per day, 10,000 people used to come to him. Please understand. He will not charge anything. Morning, around 4 o'clock, he will do his puja. He is a devotee of Kalabhairava. All the Gaudas in Karnataka are followers of Kalabhairava, Shiva's followers. So, he starts his puja for Kalabhairava. Then, he will come and sit in his seat and start. Around night, 11 o'clock only he will finish. No rest. He will only eat twice a day between seeing the patients. When I went there, I saw at least 10,000 people. It was not any special day, ordinary day. A villager. So, I stood in queue. But the moment he came to know that I have come, he received me and took me to his place. And then I told him I came for this devotee only. Then I just wanted to see also what he does. Then he asked the devotee to give a coin, and the devotee whom I took, he gave the coin, and he took the coin and just looked. I could see by his look the coin has melted. This coin is completely melted and poured out, but the process happened in the coin. I can see it has become liquid. I put the coin on the place where the devotee had a pain, put a bandage, over. In 2 days, pain vanished. What I could not do for 1 month, this old man who has neither intellectual idea about enlightenment nor the smell of enlightenment, he finished it in 2 days. 2 days means to heal it took 2 days, but the whole process did not take more than 2 minutes. He had to spend 2 minutes with me because I'm a VIP to receive me. Otherwise, he has done it. Just last year he passed away. He left the body. He became very old and he passed away. I know for sure he was able to put himself in an altered state of consciousness, not enlightenment, but certain altered state of consciousness from where he is able to express that energy. So I told him, do not think I am the only person. Maybe more number of expressions are happening through this body. That's all. There's no such thing as monopoly in the field of mystery and spiritual powers.
So beautiful. You saw how Bhagavan was saying how a villager could manifest powers of Paramashiva just by in the space of oneness. They can experience the greatest reality. Here you can see the one of the child playing with the cards and arranging the cards as per seeing how the other person has done it. All this great science we can experience once we know that Paramashiva is showing all this for us to make us understand that Paramashiva is real and he is reflecting in us as superconscious space. Now you can have some cards or you can have some partner who can show you the cards which you can arrange exactly like how the partner has arranged. Or if you don't have anybody, you can arrange after you blindfold and arrange the same way, have two sets of them and arrange it same way and see how you got it just the correct series, or the starting is correct or the end is correct. Whatever you experience, you can make 10 shapes and just write it in a piece of paper and arrange it without seeing it and tie your and arrange it first and have another set arrange exactly the same way. If you don't have anybody, just do third eye of seeing the shapes and marking it. If you have a partner, ask them to arrange shapes in the cards, and if you can arrange the same thing in a different share color or different series, that will be really good. If it matches exactly 5 cards in a row, then you have manifested the powers. If you've just got the experience and experience the Kundalini energy, you have started manifesting powers of Paramashiva. More and more start recognizing you can manifest anything you want as your reality. That is all we need to cognize. Somewhere we have not been able to cognize that we can manifest whatever we want as reality. As a child, we did that. That's why we started walking, talking, which is much more complicated. But now we have only thought that what we did is only thing we can do. If we can understand Paramashiva is here to make us understand that everything is a possibility in the next space. Like Bhagavan says, when your thought goes to zero, you can see your present, past, future, everything very clearly, that you can manifest whatever you want as your reality. And everything aligns to what you want. Prahlada, 5-year-old child, just pointing to a pillar, he made an avatar happen. So it's that simple that you have to recognize yourself that you are Paramashiva, you are manifesting everything that exists, and you can manifest whatever you want, you believe as your reality very strongly inside you. Hold that powerful space. Now sit straight with the head, neck and spine in a straight line. Let's get into the deep Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Visualize Paramashiva, Parashakti in your third eye. Sit with all the Ayuda in your hand, 50 hands, 75 eyes and 50 heads. You can experience the oneness with Paramashiva. 25 heads and 75 eyes and 50 hands. You can experience the oneness with Paramashiva and you can start manifesting the powers of Paramashiva. Unclutch from everything that you know. How you get into the deep sleep, exactly just unclutch by chanting the Mahavakya again and again from your navel center and deeply entangling with a deep listening. The chanting and listening to your chanting is the key for manifestation. The more you chant the Mahavakya, your frequency is raised. More you are in listening, your thoughts have to be in zero. Either we are in listening or thoughts have to happen. More you're listening again and again deeply to your chanting, you will simply experience the oneness and manifest the powers of Paramashiva. So let's start chanting and arranging the cards. You can do many times to experience how Paramashiva is giving you these small exercise to make you realize the ultimate truth that you are Paramashiva. Let's start chanting and surrender yourself completely into Paramashiva's space. Let us get absorbed by Paramashiva, merge into Paramashiva in deep gratitude and surrender. Let's start chanting the Mahavakya with a deep listening to manifest the power of mind reading, arranging the cards.
Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva overflow us, the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
Beautifully, whatever you have experienced, go ahead and verify it is correctly in the same order that you have kept the cards, and authentically take a picture whatever you see, and if your partner can show and you can take a picture of that, that's beautiful, or they can send a picture, you can share it with the world at the end. Now we'll have one more cycle. Surrender completely. You are the Brahmanya Bahuputratam. You are the chosen one of the cosmos. Bhagavan says you are the chosen inheritant of the cosmos. That means you are the Paramashiva space who can manifest all the powers of Paramashiva, and he himself is in the courtyard waiting to see you to create that space so that he can flow in you as Paramashiva, as consciousness. What we perceive is only the materialistic world. Get into the deep Nirvikalpa Samadhi, experiencing the oneness in your heart. Continuously hold Paramashiva in your inner space, and simply you can see your heart melting and experiencing the higher nectar, the Amrita, Bhagavan says, as your reality, manifesting all this and much more. Even a glimpse of the power, the thoughtless space, simply will take you to higher reality. just a glimpse, few seconds. That's what Bhagavan says. In few seconds, it happens. How much time it takes when somebody calls your name, that's all it takes for manifesting a power. You can simply get into that beautiful space by just chanting the Mahavakya with deep listening. We'll have one more cycle for a few more minutes. Put away your gadgets and we'll arrange the card again and manifest the power of mind reading.
Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda 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 Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Paramashivoham, 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 Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
So beautiful. Whatever you have experienced, please share that in tinyurl.com/powermanifestation. Do it authentically, and all the sharing that Paramashiva is showing you is like how you take a tablet, it solves big problems. Same way, the small exercise that Bhagwan is giving, when we integrate ourselves to the detox program and all these Paramashiva yoga, Paramashiva puja, Paramashiva pa manifestation, satsang, every single day like Balasans, we will raise into that superconscious space. More and more we are engraved in Paramashiva space, more it becomes reality. How much we are engraved into all the sufferings and all other outer world beliefs. Now, if we are more and more into Paramashiva space, we will be experiencing Paramashiva as reality. So please go ahead, share this and cause others to come and experience Paramashiva as real, and to Bhagavan Satsang and all this great science he's showering on everyone. And it takes only 5 minutes to post in your social media and share it with your friends and families, thanking Bhagavan for all this and making our life more and more blissful. Surrender all this powerful cognition, power manifestation to Bhagavan's lotus feet deeply, with a deep earning Paramashiva in my thought, word, and action, Paramashiva as my reality, holding that as a powerful cognition. Let's end this session with a Purna Mantra, thanking all of you in all the social media, collective integrity, collective consciousness to manifest the higher reality. So let's surrender to Bhagavan in deep gratitude and deep earning Paramashiva is real as our cognition and chant the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Paduka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you so much. See you in the next session after darshan or satsang in Kailash Kotyad manifesting power session.